Hey guys, how you doing? It's Deepak here again from the CVGUY. Today we're going to continue talking about answering those really tough questions in interviews. So we've already discussed describe your biggest weakness. Now, alongside that, if that hasn't already got you really nervous, is the whole issue of tell me about a time when you failed at something, where you did something badly. So the key to this question and understanding it is recognizing that they don't just want to know when you failed, they also want to know what you learned from it and how it's perhaps affected some of the future decisions that you've made. So everyone's example is going to be a little bit different. So you can decide as to whether you want to take it from a work context or you want to take it from a personal life context. Now you'll hear all kinds of different advice. My advice to you is, if it's easily possible, do look for something within your personal life, because there is that underlying implication that it then doesn't relate to your professional life. And of course, you're applying for a professional role. So in the instance of myself, I've run a couple of marathons, and I would say, if I was to answer that question, just to give you an idea of something that I failed at that I could then improve, and you might as well have heard the dog in our office. So, so something that I think I failed at is I ran my first marathon. I did 4 hours and 46 minutes, and I ran my next one and I did around 4:20. But after that, I really wanted to make a significant improvement as to the length of the time that I was going to complete the marathon in. Being honest, I recognize that I failed at maintaining the discipline for my training for the marathon. I had work commitments and other things happening, and I'd booked the marathon away in a different country. I was actually flying to Spain, Barcelona, to run this third marathon. Now, I did spend some time preparing for it. There was a program online that I did try and follow, but I think what has happened is that I kind of overestimated the commitment it would require to run this actual marathon in terms of the preparation. And I went out and I realized I wasn't prepared coming up to the event, and I tried to make up for the shortfall, and yeah, it didn't go as I hoped for. I ended up getting around 4:32, which was 12 minutes slower than the 4:20 marathon. Since then, what I've realized is that planning isn't just thinking about it in your head, it's the actual act of writing it down, which has been incredibly important. So looking at my calendar, thinking about the other standout commitments that I have in the lead up to another event, and then basically planning my time around it. You need to build in some flexibility. Having a completely rigid schedule, as I tried, it just didn't work. It all went wrong. So in that respect, I've really been able to improve by following a more flexible plan. And to that extent, I went out and ran my fourth marathon in Paris, and I managed to get 3 hours 45 minutes. So I improved by what, 45 minutes upon my last marathon, the 4:20 one, that is. So I was really happy about that. So do you see what I've done there? I've taken something that's not related directly to work, but of course it has implications upon it, but it's not as directly related. 2, I've also basically highlighted that there's an active interest I have outside of the work environment that still can help, because it talks about discipline and dedication. 3, I've talked about the issue that I had, which was kind of overestimating how perhaps difficult it would be and not planning appropriately. And then 4, I talked about my learning as to how I can apply this moving forward and the results I've got from it. So I hope that really helps you understand how you can answer this really difficult question of describing a time when you failed at something. Thanks.